And right now, Secretary of State John Kerry is in Geneva, locked in intense discussions with Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov. Meanwhile, back here in Washington, the White House calling freshman GOP lawmakers to a special meeting. So why the sudden interest in freshman Republican lawmakers? Republican Congressman Doug Collins was at that West Wing meeting. He joins us. Good evening, sir.
It's good to be here.
Okay, so you were invited to the White House today. About how many of you?
There was probably about 15 to 20 of us.
Why were you invited?
Well, I think it just shows how desperate this president is right now to reach out to anyone that he can find help with what has become a disastrous plan in Syria, in which he has no support on Capitol Hill. He's lost the support of the American people, and I think it's just isolating himself more and more, and I think he's just lost that trust. And when you invite this many GOP freshmen who have either publicly said, as I have, that we're against an airstrike, it really just makes you wonder why they're wanting to bring you there to talk to.
Who was at the meeting? You said from the White House.
The chief staff.
Not the president.
Yeah, not the president.
Now, and see, if I were trying to hustle you or persuade you or to convince you or something, I would show up. If I were the president. You
would have expected maybe a minute drop by, just something in. Again, if you're trying to make a hard sell, which is what you would expect if this president, as his speech gave, he made this hard sell for war, and then he pivoted and said, we're going to pull it off. You would expect something more. And actually, what happened was we got there and talked today. We shared our feelings. The chief of staff shared their position, gave us nothing new. It's a breakdown of trust. And I think if you think back just to a year ago on this night in this country, we were talking about Benghazi. We were talking about a situation overseas in which now, over the past year, trust has been eroded on foreign policy by this administration. And now we're sitting here today, and he's wanting us to trust him on a limited strike, and it's just amazing at this point.
But just in terms of, I'm struck by the fact that if I thought something was really important and I really needed you, I would do it myself. If I were the chief of staff and I were going to address a number of congressmen, the chief of staff, I would go up to Capitol Hill and visit you. Now, I realize they like the trappings of the White House to be impressive, but I'd go show the courtesy to visit you. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
Well, I think if at this point in time, when you're being lectured on world events by the leader in Russia, you're being lectured on what we did or did not do right in engagements that we've had, when you're being lectured by others in the world who are saying we're not going to be a participant in your plan, when the American people are losing faith in you, when Capitol Hill, you can't seem to find enough votes to bring it to Capitol Hill, then it would be something you want to take personally.
We only have 30 seconds left. Did anyone leave that meeting, any freshman member of Congress leave that meeting and said, you know what, I'm changed my mind?
No, there was none that I could see, and the ones talking to. In fact, what we found was very disappointing because when we were brought in there was nothing new give to us. This hard sell was just simply a check-the-box mechanism for this administration on a failed plan that I think the American people are seeing through.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now to tonight's